Good morning students. In this lecture 32 of mechanics, we will derive Lorentz transformation equations. So first of all, again consider two frames or inertial frame of references, frame S and S dash here. And as you can see, the x-axis of both the frames are coinciding with one another, and y-axis and z-axis, they are parallel to one another, and at time t is equal to t dash is equal to 0, the origin O of frame S and origin O dash of frame S dash both were coinciding, and this frame S dash, it is moving with the uniform velocity v along positive x-axis with respect to frame S. And at the instant when this O and O dash both were coinciding, that at time t is equal to t dash is equal to 0, there was a light source fixed at origin O, and that light source emits a flash of light. So at time t is equal to t dash is equal to 0, a flash of light is emitted by the light source which is fixed at origin O of frame S. And now we know that light moves in spherical wavefront. Light travels outward in the form of spherical wavefront. So that is why I have drawn a spherical wavefront here. And consider a point P on the spherical wavefront. And this point P, light will reach at this point P in the form of spherical wavefront, suppose at time t. Means this point P is obtained in frame S at time t. So what will be the distance travelled by light in time t? Because velocity of light is c. So distance travelled by light in time t will be c into t. So the distance covered by light from point O to P in time t, suppose it is magnitude is r, and it will be equal to speed into time. What is the speed of light? It is c. And what is the time to obtain point P? It is t. And suppose this as equation number 1. And also suppose x, y, z are the coordinates of this point P as observed in frame S. So if x, y, z are the coordinates, then what will be the value of or magnitude of position vector r? It will be r is equal to square root x square plus y square plus z square. And suppose this as equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, left hand sides are same. It means right hand sides are also same. So from equation 1 and 2, we will have Ct, it is equal to square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Then perform squaring both sides. After squaring both sides, what you will get? C square t square, it is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. Now move this c square t square to this side, and what you will get? You will get x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square, it is equal to 0. And suppose this as equation number 3. Now observe the same point P from frame S dash. And when we will observe the same point P from frame S dash, what will be the coordinates of the point P in frame S dash? It will be x dash, y dash, z dash. And what will be the time at which this point P will be obtained in frame S dash? It will be t dash. And suppose r dash is the position vector of point P from origin O dash in frame S dash. So r dash will be equal to c is the velocity of light and t dash is the time in which the light is travelling distance r dash. So r dash will be equal to speed c into time t dash. And also because x dash, y dash, z dash are the coordinates of point P in frame S dash, so r dash will also be equal to root x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square. So again performing squaring on both sides. Squaring both sides, what you will get? C square t dash square, it is equal to x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square. Then move this c square t dash square to this side, and what you will get? X square x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square minus c square t dash square. It is equal to 0. And suppose this is equation 4th. And now see these two equations, 3rd and 4th. From 3rd and 4th, it is clear that the right hand sides of both 3rd and 4th is equal to 0. So if right hand sides are equal to 0, it means left hand sides are also equal. If right hand sides of 3rd and 4th are equal, it means left hand sides are also equal. So this implies x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square, it will be equal to x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square minus c square t dash square. And suppose this as equation number 5th. Now in the starting we have already considered that there is relative motion of the two frames S and S dash such that frame S dash is moving along x-axis with the uniform velocity v with respect to S. So as the motion is along x-axis, so it will not affect the y coordinates. Therefore y dash will be equal to y and z dash will be equal to z. Why? Because motion is along x-axis, so only x coordinate will be affected of point P. Now use this equation 6th in equation 5th, means put this y dash is equal to y and z dash is equal to z in equation 5th. What you will get? When you will put this y dash is equal to y, this y dash square, it will be cancelled out by y square because both are equal. Similarly, when you will put this z dash is equal to z, you will have z square on both sides and it will get cancelled. So we are left with x square minus c square t square, it is equal to x dash square minus c square t dash square. And suppose this as equation 7th. Now assume that the transformation from x to x dash and t to t dash is linear. Then suppose that this x dash is equal to ax plus bt, because transformation is linear. So suppose x dash will be equal to some linear combination of x and t, so ax plus bt. And similarly, suppose this t dash, it will be again the linear combination of x and t, and it will be suppose ex plus ft, where a, b, e, f all four are unknowns. And suppose these two equations are as 8th and 9th, and where a, b, e, f, these are four unknowns, and we have to calculate these unknowns. We have to find the values of these unknowns. So how? First of all, put the value of x dash and t dash from equation 8th and 9th in equation 7th. And what is equation 7th? 7th equation is x square minus c square t square, it is equal to x dash square minus c square t dash square. So now put the value of x dash is equal to this and t dash is equal to this here, and you will get x square minus c square t square, it is equal to x dash is ax plus bt whole square minus c square into t dash is ex plus ft whole square. Now use the formula a plus b whole square and a plus b whole square in both of these brackets. So we have x square minus c square t square, it is equal to a square x square plus b square t square plus 2ab means 2abxt minus c square e square x square plus f square t square plus 2ef xt. So here we have used the formula of identity a plus b whole square, which is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now on right hand side, separate the coefficients of x square and t square and xt. So what we will have? Here we have a square x square and here we have minus c square e square x square. So taking x square common, we will have a square minus c square e square. Then here we have b square t square and here we have minus c square f square t square. So again, taking t square common, inside the bracket we will have b square minus c square f square. And in the last term we have 2 common and xt common, and inside the bracket we will have ab minus c square into ef. So now comparing the coefficients of x square, t square and xt on both sides. So what you will get? Comparing the coefficients of x square, on this side the coefficient of x square is 1 and on this side the coefficient of x square is a square minus c square e square. So both the sides are equal. It means the coefficients of x square, t square and xt will also be equal. So this implies coefficient of x square on both sides are equal, and suppose this as equation 10th. Then coefficient of xt on both sides, on this side there is no xt, so coefficient of xt is 0 on this side. And what is the coefficient of xt on this side? It is, we have 2ab minus 2c square ef. And suppose this is equation 11th. And what is the coefficient of t square on both sides? On this side we have the coefficient of t square is minus c square, and on this side we have b square minus c square f square, and suppose this as equation 12th. So now we have 3 equations, equation 10th, equation 11th and equation 12th, but the unknowns are 4 and equations are 3. So now from these 3 equations we have to find the values of 4 unknowns, that is a, b, e and f. Then we will be able to calculate the relation between x dash and x and t dash and t, and we will get Lorentz transformation equations. So now as we know that frame S dash is moving with the uniform velocity v along x-axis, positive x-axis with respect to s. So the origin of frame S dash, it will also be moving with the same velocity as that of the frame. So consider that origin O dash of frame S dash, it is moving with velocity v along positive x-axis. But the position of this origin O dash in frame S dash, it will always be x dash is equal to 0. Because the point where the origin lies, x coordinate will be 0. So x dash is always 0 at the origin O dash of frame S dash. But x dash is equal to ax plus bt. So put this x dash is equal to 0 here. And what you will get? Ax plus bt is equal to 0. So now we have ax, it is equal to minus bt. Now move this t to this side, you will get x by t, and move this a to this side and you will get minus b by a. And suppose this as equation 12. Now this x by t, it is distance upon time, means velocity. So it is the velocity of frame S dash with respect to s. So put this x by t is equal to v. So we have v is equal to minus b by a. and from these two terms we have B is equal to minus AV. So we have the relation between two unknowns A and B, which is B is equal to minus AV, and suppose this as equation number 13th. Now to find the relation between another unknowns, consider the motion of frame S. Now for any observer who is standing in the frame S dash will be at rest for an observer in frame S dash, and frame S will be moving for that observer with velocity minus V along negative x-axis. So along with frame S, origin O of frame S, it will also be moving with velocity minus V along negative x-axis for any observer in frame S dash. So now as the frame S is moving along negative x-axis, so its origin will also move with same velocity along negative x-axis. And what is the coordinates in frame S? X, Y, Z. At the origin, X will be 0. And we have X dash is equal to this and T dash is equal to this. So put this X is equal to 0 in both of these equations. And when you will put X is equal to 0 here, you will get X dash is equal to BT. And when you will put X is equal to 0 here, you will get T dash is equal to FT. Suppose this as equation 14th and this as equation 15th. Now in the next step, divide this 14th equation by 15th. What you will get? X dash over T dash is equal to BT over FT. T and T will be cancelled out. So you will get X dash over T dash is equal to B over F. Now what is this X dash by T dash? As now we have considered the motion of frame S with respect to S dash. So it is actually the velocity of frame S with respect to S dash along negative x-axis, which is minus V. Or you can say that it is the velocity of origin O of frame S with respect to origin O dash of frame S dash. So put this is equal to minus V and it is equal to B by F. Again, we have obtained the relation between two other unknowns, that is B and F, which is B is equal to minus FV, and suppose this as equation 16th. Now from equation 13th, we have B is equal to minus AV from equation 13th. And from equation 16th, we have B is equal to minus FV. So left hand sides are same, it means right hand sides will also be same. So what we will have? Minus AV, it is equal to minus FV. V and V will be cancelled out, negative and negative sign will be cancelled out, and you will get A is equal to F. And suppose this as equation 17th. Now put this value of B, which is equal to minus FV from equation 16th in equation 12th. And what is equation 12th? Equation 12th was B square minus C square F square, it is equal to minus C square. So put this value of B here, and what you will get? F square V square minus C square F square, it is equal to minus C square. And find the value of F from this equation. Take F square common. You will have V square minus C square, it is equal to minus C square. Now move this V square minus C square to the right hand side. You will get F square is equal to minus C square upon V square minus C square. Now rearrange this. F square, it is equal to 1 upon V square minus C square upon minus C square. How you will solve this? It will be minus V square by C square minus C square by minus C square. Minus and minus will be cancelled out. C square and C square will be cancelled out. So we have 1 upon 1 minus V square by C square. So F square is equal to 1 upon 1 minus V square by C square. So f will be only positive values are considered, root 1 minus v square by c square. And suppose this as equation 18th. Now from equation 17th we have a is equal to f, and f is equal to this. It means a is also equal to 1 by root 1 minus v square by c square. And suppose this is equal to equation 19th. Now if we have the value of f, we can find the value of b. From equation 16th, we have the value of b is equal to minus fv. Now put this value of f here, and what will be the value of b? b will be equal to minus v upon root 1 minus v square by c square. So we have already calculated three unknowns, a, b and f. So now the only unknown left is e. So how we will calculate the value of e? To calculate the value of e, putting the values of a, b and f in equation 11th. And what is equation 11th? Equation 11th is 2ab minus 2c square ef, it is equal to 0. Which implies 2ab is equal to 2c square ef. 2 and 2 is cancelled out on both sides. Now put the values of a, b and f from these three equations. So what is the value of a? It is 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square. And the value of b is this, minus v upon root 1 minus v square by c square. It is equal to c square e, which we have to calculate, and the value of f is 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square. One of this term will be cancelled out. Move this c square to this side and you will get the value for e. So e is equal to minus v by c square upon root 1 minus v square by c square. And this is the value for fourth unknown, that is e. And suppose this is equation 21. So now we will put these values of a and b in equation x dash is equal to ax plus bt. And when you will put the value of a and b here in this equation, you will get the transformation from x to x dash. Lorentz transformation from x to x dash. And when you will put the value of e and f in this equation here, you will get the Lorentz transformation equation from t to t dash. So putting the values of a, b, e, f in these two equations. So we know that x dash it is equal to ax plus bt. So x dash will be equal to, what is the value of a? Value of a is equal to f. So it will be 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square into x. Into x means x will be here. What is the value of b? It is minus v, this t upon root 1 minus v square by c square. This implies x dash will be equal to x minus vt upon, take LCM, 1 minus v square by c square. So this is the Lorentz transformation equation from S frame to S dash frame, or from x to x dash, and where this root 1 minus v square by c square, suppose it is equal to gamma. So it is written that x dash is equal to gamma x minus vt and suppose this is equation A, where this gamma is equal to root 1 minus v square by c square. This is 1 upon, where gamma is equal to 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square. Now, also we know that t dash is equal to ex plus ft. So putting the values of e and f in this equation, what is the value of e? It is minus v by c square into this x divided by root 1 minus v square by c square, plus f is 1 by root 1 minus v square by c square into t. So this implies t dash is equal to, taking LCM, it is root 1 minus v square by c square. Here we will have t minus v by c square x. And putting this 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square is equal to gamma, we have t dash is equal to gamma t minus v by c square x. And suppose this is equation B. And we have y dash is equal to y and z dash is equal to z, because there is no relative motion along y and z axis between s and s dash. So the two coordinates will not be affected by the motion of s dash with respect to s. So these are equation A, B and equation C. These are Lorentz transformation equations. Lorentz transformation equations from S to S dash. So what will be the inverse Lorentz transformation equations? For inverse Lorentz transformation equations from S dash to S. So in case of Lorentz transformations from S to S dash and inverse Lorentz transformations from S dash to S, here we will have x dash is equal to gamma x minus vt, and in case of inverse Lorentz transformations, x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash will be known, and we will calculate x and it will be equal to gamma x dash, and as compared to frame s dash, frame s will be moving with velocity minus v, so minus into minus v will be plus v, so here we will have plus v t dash. In Lorentz transformations, we have y dash is equal to y when motion is along x-axis. So here y will be equal to y dash. In Lorentz transformations, z dash is equal to z, and in inverse Lorentz transformations, z is equal to z dash. And in Lorentz transformations, t dash is equal to gamma t minus v by c square x, and in inverse Lorentz transformations, t will be equal to gamma t dash plus v by c square x dash. Now if the motion is along y-axis, if s dash, it moves along y-axis, then x dash will be equal to x and z dash will be equal to z, and y dash will be equal to gamma y minus vt, and t dash will be equal to gamma t minus v by c square y. Similarly, if s dash is moving along z axis, then x dash will be equal to x, y dash will be equal to y, then z dash will be equal to gamma z minus vt, and t dash will be equal to gamma t minus v by c square z. Then how Galilean transformations, they are special case of these Lorentz transformations. So we know that in case of Galilean transformations, v is very small as compared to c. This implies v by c, it will be very small as compared to 1, that it can be neglected. So how the value of gamma will change? Gamma, we know that it is 1 upon root 1 minus v square by c square. If v by c is very small as compared to 1, then v square by c square, it will be even smaller than 1. So we can neglect this v square by c square as compared to 1, which implies gamma is equal to 1. in case of Galilean transformations. So put gamma is equal to 1 here. What you will get? X dash is equal to x minus vt, y dash is equal to y, and z dash is equal to z. Then t dash is equal to gamma is 1, v by c is very small as compared to 1 that it can be neglected, so it is equal to t. And what is this? These are Galilean transformations from S to S dash. So in this way we have proved that Galilean transformations are the special case of Lorentz transformations. When V is very small as compared to C, these Lorentz transformations, they will be reduced to Galilean transformations.